Hola, tax fans. Many of you will be aware that Portugal was, well, for a time at least, one of the go-to jurisdictions for those looking to become more tax efficient, but also enjoy a good quality of life as well. But why was that? Well, really it was to do with Portugal's non-habitual residence regime, or NHR regime, which was launched in 2009. Broadly, it transformed the country into a hotspot for entrepreneurs, professionals, high net worths, retirees, pretty much anybody. It's very broadly defined. But as part of the 2024 budget, the Portuguese government announced that they were terminating the regime effective from the 1st of January last year. They have brought in a successor framework. It's commonly referred to as NHR 2.0, and it does shift the focus towards active income earners in essentially quite a restrictive field, so any field related to research, innovation and startups. So what were the advantages of that original NHR regime? Go on, I'll tell you what you could have won. It offered a number of attractive tax benefits, and as I said before, to a broad range of individuals who became residents in Portugal. Firstly, tax exemptions and reduced rates. Foreign source income, including capital gains, dividends, rental income, often was exempt from Portuguese tax under the regime, provided conditions under double tax treaties or OECD conventions were satisfied. Additionally, Portuguese source income from high value added activities was taxed at a flat rate of 20%, so well below their usual standard and progressive rates of up to 48%. Importantly for retirees, pension income was initially exempt from Portuguese tax under the regime, but then from 2020 onwards, they put it up to 10%. It was open generally to individuals who had not been Portuguese tax residents in the previous 5 years and who met the criteria for tax residency in Portugal, generally speaking, spending over 183 days in Portugal annually. So the benefits themselves were granted for 10 years. So basically, and this is often how it was marketed, as a 10-year tax holiday for those taking part in the regime. But you did have to maintain residency in Portugal as well. And it wasn't really quite a successful regime. It brought lots of internationally mobile wealthy people to the jurisdiction. But with it came controversy within Portugal, favouring passive income earners and retirees. It did cause some complaints about whether it was, creating a property bubble, so that led to its termination. But where are we now? Well, now we have, NHR 2.0 introduced in 2024. It applies to a much narrower taxpayer. It's aimed to attract professionals engaged in scientific, academic, technical fields, and particularly for those contributing to R&D, innovation and entrepreneurship. There are tax benefits for these people. It's a narrower potential participant, flat 20% income tax rate on employment or self-employment income derived from those qualifying activities. And again, there are tax benefits for foreign source income, including that foreign investment income, rental income and capital gains. To qualify, individuals can't have been Portuguese residents in any of the preceding 5 years. Activities must be performed within entities or projects that have an official R&D or innovation certificate. Individuals who previously benefited from the original NHR scheme, well, they're verboten, they're not allowed to join. However, those who did qualify and have maintained their status in the old NHR regime, well, they can continue to benefit from the old regime. So, just some final thoughts, so a bit of a long video. We can see that the Portuguese government has raised the drawbridge on the first NHR regime, but it has been replaced by NHR 2.0, as they more narrowly focus and targets specific types of professionals and entrepreneurs. There are still benefits on offer, but you really do need to be the right person these days. But if you are one of those individuals, then it is worth considering. Any questions, please pop them in the comments below or drop me a line. But for now, obrigada.